So, good evening. We are back again. You made it just in time as well. That was
I know,
great.
it's good timing that, bro, wasn't it?
How are you, mate? How's your week been?
Yeah, nah, it's been good, man. It's been good. The fucking weather, though, mate. It's just a pain in the ass, man. You know what I mean? Went to my uncle dog walker was unavailable today, so I went to walk the dogs today, and it's just fucking pissing it down, man. It just doesn't stop. Apparently, down south it's all right, but obviously up here, Pennines and that, it just doesn't fucking stop. But
I don't have this issue, mate. It's 34 degrees outside.
yeah, I know, man. I know. Hey, listen,
Get out of that
you know
country,
that I potentially might be coming over in a couple of weeks. So I'll let you know if I'm coming over back end of October. I'll give you a shout, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anytime. If it's close to Malaga, bro, we'll link up in it.
Yeah. But now I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Obviously, City got the good performance, against Leipzig. I don't know if you watched it. But
no, I'll see the highlights, extended highlights, mate. What's going on with Haaland? I want to ask you this here. What is going on with that guy? Or are we just noticing he's missing so many big chances compared to what we were doing last season? Because he missed chances last season, of course he did. But I'm looking at it. Am I looking at it too much, or is this what he does?
No, I think everyone's looking at it a little bit too much, and so if we could look at the games, right? So against Leipzig, didn't score, but didn't really have any clear-cut opportunities against Leipzig, and played quite well, actually. Dropped deep quite a few times. He was pivotal for the Jeremy Doku goal. Wolves didn't create him a single chance. Now, I know how you always talk about some of the olden players, but Haaland, for me, bro, is a very old-school striker. He's not one of these false nines, you know what I mean? Oh, drop deep, get on the ball. No, it's not that type of player. Haaland is an old school striker. You got to get him inside the penalty area, and you got to give him chances. Against Wolves, we didn't give the guy a single chance. So of course he's going to go. So that is, I guess, a slight downside of Haaland is that if your team doesn't play well and your team doesn't get the ball into the penalty area and create chances for Haaland, he won't do anything because he's not a Harry Kane. He's not a Harry Kane. If Harry Kane's shooting boots aren't on, don't matter. Why? Because he'll be dropping deep. He'll be making plays from deep. You know what I mean? That sort of quarterback position, all that kind of shit. But Haaland isn't him. So I can't really complain at Haaland against Wolves because he didn't do anything, because we didn't give him a single chance. Didn't play against Newcastle. So out of the last 3 games we've played, he's not missed any big chances. And the only game that really he had anything to do, which was Leipzig, he played quite well. Yeah, he's missed some chances this year. This guy's still got 8 goals.
Yeah, mate, I couldn't believe that. When I looked earlier, and I was like, he could have genuinely been on 20 goals this season.
Mm.
He missed about 5 or 6 against West Ham. Yeah, he missed. Can't remember who he played after that. I think it was Champions League. It might have been Champions League. He missed quite a few in the first game. Red Star Belgrade, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, genuinely, he could be on about 20 goals. It's kind of mad, because I can't remember any teams he's scored against this season. Obviously, I'm not as invested. I'm only on loan to Man City. Obviously, you're a proper City fan. Do you know what I mean? But it's a win-win for me this weekend, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? I might have to bust out the Mahrez shirt.
Mate,
one again.
Mahrez, mate. Don't. I seen it. I was on Instagram last night, and I seen what they call the videos that they do, reels. They say the reel of Mahrez playing as Saudi for whatever team he's playing for, and
that's my Saudi team as well. They're playing El Ittihad tonight. So I'm everywhere, bro. Miami FC, El Ahly, Man City, Arsenal.
Mahrez.
Options open.
I was I don't know if I've ever said this on stream with you. I was actually quite against the Mahrez sale, and I was one of few City fans that wasn't happy with the deal because we sold Mahrez for like £32 million, right? Which on the face of it, Lee, it looks like a good deal, right? But I'm going to break it down to you and explain why that wasn't a good deal. Because people was like, it's the 3rd highest sale for an over 30-year-old player ever. Okay, so that looks quite good, right? We bought him for 60 million, 6-7 years ago, and then you're selling for 30 million. That's all well and good, right? So the finances there, people coming at you with stuff like that looks great. But then I say this, go and find me another player that can score and get total assists of 25, 30 goals and assists combined for £30 million. You can't, no one can do it. So it's all well and good saying, you got a great price. You know what I mean? You got 30 million, 3rd highest ever. You got half your money back. You had him for great deal. But ultimately, if you can't replace the goals and assists, that's a bit of a problem. And this is something that I said when we sold him. Jack Grealish doesn't get goals or assists on the left. If Bernardo Silva plays right-hand side, he brings a lot of other stuff, but he doesn't really get too many goals or assists as well. You've got Kovacic, he doesn't score or assist. So
Rodri don't really chip in. He chips in, but not a massive amount.
Big goals. He gets big goals, but he doesn't get. Goals, he doesn't get the volume. So this is what I was saying in the summer. If Haaland does end up having a bit of an off period, which I'm still not saying it's an off period, then who's going to be scoring the goals? Now, luckily for us, we obviously signed Doku, which I don't know if you've seen much of him, bro, but I think it's fucking great signing, great price.
Mate, I've seen.
Great player.
I didn't see him against Wolves because obviously Arsenal were playing at the same time, but I've seen obviously the highlights of that game. But in the games that I have seen him play, mate, he looks electric. And do you know what I was impressed with? I've never seen him play, mate. I don't watch Ajax or wherever he came from. Came from the Dutch league, right?
Stade Rennes, France he come from.
Oh, sorry, my bad. There you go. That's all I know. Numpty YouTuber. Only watch the Premier League. But from what I've seen, right, what surprised me the most, because everyone was raving about his pace, and he is rapid, man, like literally rapid. But I was impressed with his hold up, like the way.
I agree.
Yeah, he's super strong, man, upper body strength. Yeah, and like I think it was West Ham. I think he played West Ham, and he had 3 players, and he was holding them all off, spun through them all. Yeah, I was like, nah, that's mad, because that brings something like that causes panic in the opposition team. Because now they know he's quick, so you have to get on him quicker. You can't let him run at you because he'll just kick and run past you. Yeah, but he can also jink past you. Yeah, he's so quick with his feet, left or right as well. Yeah, he's a problem, mate. That guy's a problem. And if I'm Pep, I'm not putting him on Ben White's side. I'm not putting him on the left. I'll play Grealish there, and I'll put him on Zinchenko's side. Yeah, now you defend, mate, because Zinchenko walks off all up to right wing at some points. Yeah, so now what does he do? Does he gallivant up the pitch and leave Doku open? Or does he defend and then get cooked?
Funny thing is, I don't think Doku actually plays in this game. I think I don't actually think he does. I think it's going to be Grealish on the left and either Bernardo on the right. In fact, Bernardo Silva or Foden on the right, I think it will be. But to have him on the bench is great. And you're right actually in what you're saying, because when we bought him, I was of the same mindset of you, because I watched one game. I did a watch along for one Stade Rennes game before we signed him. And basically, every time he got the ball, he was just running at players. And I thought, this guy looks super exciting, but he's going to have to learn the sort of Pep, hold the ball up, don't lose the ball too much, all that kind of shit. Because if he keeps on just attacking, Pep's not going to really like that, because he wants a little bit of balance, right? And then within a game, 2 games, I was like, oh shit, this guy's got this in his locker as well. And you seen the highlights. If you remember the Julian Alvarez goal against Leipzig, great goal, and he's having a fantastic season. The reason that he manages to score that goal, Alvarez, is because Doku attracts 3 players to the ball. Because of what you said, they're all shit scared of him, man. Because if you're the defender, say you're the centre back, right side is centre back, or you're playing in a back 5, the right side of a 3, and you see Doku on your defender, you're thinking Doku's going to take it past him, and if he does, he's going to be on me. So I'm going to go in. Okay, so now you've got a gap there between your defender. And then as well, what happened against Leipzig, the midfielder also went in there as well. Doku carried 3 Leipzig players over to him, which then created the space for Alvarez. Give Alvarez the ball. The rest, as they say, is history. But listen, for 45 million quid, it looks like a steal. Super exciting player. I don't think he's going to play against Arsenal, but
what makes you say that? What makes you think he ain't starting? Just because it's not going to be a end-to-end match type of thing.
The reason is because you got to look at the midfield first. So obviously Rodri's out. So who's he going to play in that midfield? Kovacic will definitely play 100%. So he's playing. Alvarez will play in the midfield, because if he doesn't play Alvarez, that is a very strange move, because he's probably been our best player this year in that position. And then he's going to play one of either Bernardo Silva, Nunes, or Rico Lewis, right? So that's the midfield done. So you're going to have either Bernardo or Foden available for selection, and he's not going to bench Foden or Bernardo, is he? So that's the reason. And
Foden's bagging goals this season as
exactly.
Well.
And on the left, I just think he's going to go with Grealish. I think he's going to start with Grealish, stick with Grealish. But in time, give it a couple months. If Doku keeps on doing what he's doing, he will then get himself in for these big games. But at the moment, I think he's just going to go with the tried and tested players.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see both of our selections, really, because Thomas Partey's back. I personally wouldn't risk him. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but he's literally just come back from a 2-month layoff, and now he's being thrown into a City game. Yeah,
I'm the same with Stones. I'm the same with Stonesley. I don't want to play Stones in this game. Completely the same, because if you
get them injured again, then they're out for another 2-3 months. Now you're cocked up with for 2 more months.
And the thing is as well, Lee, you can play Thomas Partey and still lose. We can play John Stones and still lose. So why risk it? It's so early on in the season. Obviously, both teams want to win, and losing would be bad for both teams. But having John Stones out for another 2 months, risking him at Emirates is dumb. Playing Partey against City and risking a re-injury and having him injured now until 2024 is dumb. So I'm with you on that exact same topic.
He's going to the AFCON as well, I think, as well. So if he does play, listen, fingers crossed he stays fit, because I like Partey. I think he's better than Rice. I've said that for time. Every Arsenal fan had that opinion until we signed Rice, and now Rice is better, apparently.
I see that with Arsenal fans. Yeah,
they were all trying to shoehorn Partey into the Rodri and Casemiro debate. And then as soon as we signed Rice, they forgot about Partey. They want him sold, and Rice is better than all of them. Didn't hear any of them mentioning Rice last season. It's funny though, because our fans are like that, bro. Like, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't win. Right, we've got one of the best keepers in the league. Yeah, he's levels above Ramsdale. Right, we've got one of the best centre back pairings in the league. Saliba's world class according to all of our fans. Ben White's brilliant at right back. Zinchenko's the best inverted left back that's ever graced football. Declan Rice is the best DM in the world. What else we got? Martin Odegaard, best attacking mid in the world. Bukayo Saka is apparently the best winger in the world. I had somebody tell me he's better than Vinny last night. Okay, mate. Yeah, come back when he's winning Champions League finals and that, yeah? Do you know what I'm saying? Bro, this is what they're on. Yeah, and then we've got on the left side, we could put anyone on the left side. Jesus could go on the left side, but he's brilliant, mate. He's brilliant, absolutely world class. Eddie Nketiah, I mean, they begged him to stay, gave him the 14. Like, he was out of contract about a week later, but this fan base, after 4 goals or 5 goals that took us from 4th to 5th, had their pants down for Eddie. Yeah, they're saying he's brilliant. Like, he can do a job. And then we've got the best young manager in the world, apparently. So, Lewis, I can't see any reason why we don't.
No, I heard this all last year, bro, and I think people do that because deep down they know they're not going to win any silverware. So this is this is their gloating. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I know that for me, Rodri's the best DM in the world. You know what I mean? I know that Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best creative players in the world. I know Haaland's the best striker in the world. Yeah, I don't have to. Rodri, I do, because I do think he's the best midfielder in the world at the moment. But I just chill, man, because ultimately my gloating comes hopefully at the end of the season when we're lifting silverware. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had Arsenal fans try to tell me Thomas Partey's better than Rodri. Give over. Will you do me a favour, man? Rodri's the best player in the midfield in the world at the moment. He's absolutely clear. I don't need to have these battles. And now, as you say,
debate at the moment either. The form he's been in for the last 12, 18 months, mate. I don't think that's debatable.
No, but now this switch
in terms of longevity, yeah, I'd say he's a better player. But Rodri could go on to have a better, maybe not 5 Champions Leagues, but in terms of the career, he could go on to have an equally good as a career. And then it is a proper debate on their full longevity of their careers. Who's better.
I just think it's
Rodri's clear, man.
Yeah, I just think it's fans doing it because probably deep down they know that the team's not going to win anything. That's
a coping mechanism, isn't it? That's what it is.
I think it is, man. Because like, why you have to tell everyone? Oh, we've got the best goalkeeper. We had it with Liverpool, man. You know what I mean? Liverpool were there telling us that you had all the best players in the world. Great, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what silverware you win at the end of the year. That's my opinion anyway. You know what I mean? I don't really care what happens on the pitch, what players you got. I don't care what they're called, what religion they are, how old they are. I don't give a fuck. My opinion is what happens at the end of the year. Have you won silverware? Yes or no? And that's what you celebrate.
Oh, yeah, man, totally agree. I had somebody last night telling me Bukayo Saka solves the right wing issue at Real Madrid. I'm like, what right wing issue at Real Madrid? What are you waffling about? Like, it's like, what are these people on, bro? Yeah, how is he getting in the team? He don't get in Real Madrid's team. Real Madrid would never sign Bukayo Saka. Yeah, firstly, he's not got superstar status of a Vinny Jr., yeah, or a Jude Bellingham. Yes, he's a very big player and a very consistently good player. But does he elevate Real Madrid to a next level? I'm not so sure. No. Yeah, they've already got Rodrigo there. The Valverde's there. Not that I particularly rate him that highly, but a lot of people do. Yeah, they've got Jude Bellingham, Chouameni. Like, and I don't hear any Madrid fans talking about youth projects either. They got Goulet, the Turkish lad they signed this summer. They've got Endrick coming in next season. Like, they've got Fran Garcia at left back. These players are all under 24. Yeah, I ain't heard any Madrid fans waffling about youth projects and phases and dogs. They ain't wheeled a dog out yet. Like, it's all a bit baffling, man.
What did you make of the? I don't know if you've seen a viral clip that went round social media a week or probably longer than that. Probably 2-3 weeks ago, where someone was outside the Emirates, right? And he was interviewing Arsenal fans, and he said, "Would you rather Arsenal win the Prem or the Champions League?" I can't remember which one it was.
It was the Prem. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, go on.
But you've got to sell Saka, and every single fan on the camera, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, said they'd rather keep Saka. I think that's where football is going wrong, where people are now supporting players, and this comes into the discussion that you just mentioned then about, we've got the best player here, who cares? Rather than supporting the team. You know what I mean? This is a club that hasn't won a Premier League, for 20 years, and has never won the Champions League, and you've got fans saying they would rather just keep a player than win a trophy. I mean, I just found that absolutely baffling. Like, listen, I know, obviously Saka's come through the academy. Of course you want to keep him. Of course you want him to go into the best. But ultimately, for me, football is about winning trophies, no? So how Arsenal fans were saying on that video that they would rather just keep Saka but not win anything than win something but then have to sell Saka. I just found that absolutely stunning.
Mate, literally every single person said they keep Saka. I put that out there. I quote tweeted it. Somebody put it on Twitter. I quote tweeted it. I said that sums up modern football in a nutshell.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, sums it up in a nutshell. The amount of abuse I got on that tweet was crazy. Yeah, from Saka fanboys and Eddie fanboys and like even rival fans, like with Bruno Fernandes as their profile picture or Rashford pointing to his temple. Like, you've got to be some strange, weird individual if you've got that as your profile picture. Like, real talk. That's the internet, bro. That's social media now. And the thing that I like about your football club, I know you do the ping pong with ball and all of this and little gimmicks and all of that, but ultimately that is a total tiny little piece of your football club, just a little gimmick, yeah, just a bit of entertainment, yeah. But you are solely there to win trophies. That is it. That's why your owners are there. That's why from top to bottom you want to be the best. Whereas with Arsenal, 95% of our stuff that we post out is gimmicks, PR, and finessing. Yeah, like we do carpool karaoke, carpool Colney, London Colney. We got Frimpong, yeah, who used to run from the Tollington down the Hornsey Road 3 minutes before the game finished, just so he could stand there, make out he's been at a game, loiter around AFTV. He's now driving players around the training ground, yeah, like doing carpool Colney. Like, what's that all about? Like,
and you know what, Lee, right? When you're winning, shit like that's okay to a degree. You don't want to go over the top, right? But when you're winning, because why? Because you're winning on the pitch, and as fans, all around the world, we can watch, content like that, and it's great. You're winning on a Saturday, you watch some shit, great. The problem becomes, and this is why I did a reaction video to your reaction video that you did, and you showed the heads up onto the next one.
Oh, bro!
And I thought that was a really sort of interesting discussion point, which will get people talking, because I completely understand where you come from, because I've had that myself. Where we've lost. In fact, a couple of years ago, City drew away at West Ham, and City put something very similar on there. Great point, I think they put great point. And I was like, no, it's not a fucking great point. Why are we saying that? You know what I mean? And the clubs obviously do it because, they don't want to, on the main account, they don't want to put a tweet out like saying piss poor performance because it's the club.
But all they got to do is just put the result out.
Yeah.
No caption,
I
nothing.
agree.
Just put the score like Real Madrid do. And Barcelona, Real Madrid do it. They don't caption anything normally. Like every now and again they'll do something, but again it's a total side dish to what they're trying to achieve. I'll give another example, right? I don't know if your football club do this. Right, Man United the other week got absolutely battered by Brighton. The very next day, birthday wishes to Stepney, Alex Stepney, their former goalkeeper, legend of the club and that. Why are you tweeting that out after you've just been embarrassed and mauled up at your own ground 3-0? Yeah, Yes, it's his birthday. Cool. Yes, he's a legend of your club. Yeah, but how far do you go with that? Arsenal did it with Granit Xhaka the other day. Yeah, they done it with Yaya Sanogo, bro. Happy birthday, Yaya. Like, what are you waffling about? Yeah, bro. And the thing is, you're right. If your club's winning, you don't care.
Yeah,
right? But
exactly,
if your club's not winning, and the whole club is just a gimmick. Yeah, and winning's totally side issue to what they're trying to peddle out. Like, I'll give you another example. Today, I haven't watched. I don't watch his press conferences. I just go through the transcript. But I ain't even bothering today. Doing this show instead. But where is it? Right. This is what he was asked in the press conference today. Right. He was asked about Bukayo Saka. He's in contention. Let's see how he progresses from here to Sunday. Let's see how he recovers. They then ask him straight after that what the injury is. He goes, I leave that to the doctors. So I've put that out on Twitter, that actual quote, and I've put millions of fans around the world want to know, and not one puppet pressed him on it. Journalists, puppets. Yeah. And that is what winds me up with Arsenal, especially. Man United and Tottenham do the same. Like with the press conference the other day, they were sitting there going, hi, Mikel. How are you, Mikel? Like, nobody cares, mate. Just ask the question. Hi, Mikel. Like dickheads. Yeah. And then they sat there and went, will the goalkeeper whose surname begins with R be starting in goal at the weekend?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Then I see a clip doing the rounds of Ange Postecoglou's press conference, right? And the journalist in that one went, oh, hi, Ange. How are you, Ange? As somebody who's a keen, avid player of FPL, do I need to substitute out James Maddison this weekend? He goes, I couldn't care less, mate.
Yeah, I think he's getting sick of it, Ange, because obviously he's come in, Ange, hasn't he? And like the way his persona is very bubbly, yeah, I mean, very Aussie, to say it like that, and gets people talking. Obviously, he's a very friendly guy, but ultimately he's a professional. He wants to talk when he's in the press conference. He wants, and yeah, you could tell when he responded, you could sort of tell he was like, "Shut the fuck up," you know.
I couldn't care less, mate. Like, what are you waffling about? You've got me here at this time to ask me that. Like, bro, it's embarrassing. Right, but this is the thing, Man City. Like, when I see Man City and Real Madrid, like their tweets come up here and there, yeah. And obviously, there's a lot of Real Madrid and City fans online, right? And I watch Madrid. Yeah, I rate Madrid massively. I think they're an elite level football club, same as your lot. Yeah, the mentality all the way down is about winning, right? One loss is a nightmare. It's a funeral, like handkerchiefs out. Yeah, bro, I was watching Real Madrid against Real Sociedad the other day, weekend before last. It was 1-1. Sociedad were playing them off the park in their own ground, the Bernabeu, yeah? Right? For 2 minutes straight, 80,000 fans were booing. Yeah, they were booing their own team. 2 minutes later, Joselu scores the winner. Do you know what I mean? That is the difference, yeah? If that was Arsenal fans, they'd just be chilling and, it doesn't matter. They won't boo because it's toxic. And it's like this culture that's rife in England, man. It really does annoy me because these clubs are very, very smart in what they do. And that's why I rate your football club. Yeah, because you ain't about this gimmicky crap and PR rubbish. Yeah, like you're just there to win. Yeah, and everyone wants to whinge and moan and do all these peddling out gimmicks and all of that. And then they all cry about City when City win everything. Well, maybe have a look at what they're doing and try and do the same.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to pick up on that point. One, there is nothing more annoying as a City fan than hearing fans of other clubs moaning at how successful we are when you support someone like Arsenal or United, Chelsea, Liverpool, because the amount of mistakes I can reel off about all your clubs in transfer windows, lack of transfer activity, buying the wrong type of players, it's endless. We'd be here till midnight. Do you know what I mean? Like, buy the right players. It's not my fault, yeah, that last year in January, when Arsenal, right, was top of the league and looking good for it, went out and didn't sign no one decent. Because I tell you, I say this every time, and it's important for the Arsenal fans in this stream to, when I say this, listen to it, try and look at it from a City point of view rather than me just attacking your club, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to get my point of view over as a City fan. In January, when the transfer window was open last year, I was worried, bro. And the reason I was worried because I was like, shit, Arsenal looking good. They got a transfer window. They're going to make some big signings and they'll go on and win the league. February the 1st, I thought we'd win the league. Because you wasn't serious. You wasn't serious.
The Trossard one was a good signing. I was buzzing.
That was
but the other two, mate.
But you should have gone bang, 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 Lee. You should have gone bang, 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 got the
And,
players.
and if that was Man City in that exact position, they would have done that. They would have gone out there and they would have found 3 players or 2 players. Yeah. Instead, we go out there and go, right, Jorginho, yep, we'll get him. Yep. That'll do.
That's not scaring me, man. That's not scaring me. And then people say, oh, yeah, but LB, it was January. All right, then. Well, let's have a look at the summer. Do you really think that Kai Havertz strikes the fear of God into other clubs?
To anyone. Literally no one.
No, you should have gone out there and gone bang. Like you did it with Rice, but I don't think Rice is a type of player that will help you across the season. And he will obviously win games, before anyone says, oh, he already got us 3 points. But he's not. You need match winners. You need strength and depth up the other. I was saying all summer that Arsenal should have got someone to compete properly with Saka on that right-hand side. And every time I said it on a stream, people come at me and said, nah, they're fine. They've got Jesus, they've got Martinelli, Trossard, we've got all these players. I was like, I'm telling you, man, they need someone who properly competes with Saka on that right. And now look, do you know what I mean? The guy's going to be burnt out, man. As an English person, I don't like what's going on with Saka, man, because I don't think it's going to help his career with England.
Oh, he's going to start at the weekend. I fear for that lad, mate. I really do. That guy's played nearly 250 professional games of football, club and country, and he's 22, right? And I know that like back in the day, Messi was playing that many games, and Ronaldo and R9s and all these great players and all that. But football's different now. Yeah, football is totally different now. You're probably running a lot more, especially on the right wing. You're getting kicked a lot more. Yeah, I know you were getting kicked back then, and you get away with a lot. Yeah, but they were tougher lads back then. Yeah, this lot are not built like for football. They're built for athletics. Yeah, they're athletes now. Whereas back then they were proper hard. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying some of these players ain't, but Bukayo Saka's 5'7".
Yeah,
he's a strong lad. Don't get it twisted. His body structure's amazing, but he's going to come in for getting kicked every game because he. And the thing is, with Bukayo Saka, I like him. I think he's our most consistent player, right? But again, what does he excel at? Probably not a great deal. He excels at he's mastered the art of pinning a player and rolling them and getting that left foot shot off. Now that's great because it works quite a lot. Yeah, so he excels at that. Other than that, he's not a very good dribbler, I don't think. Yeah, he's got a good first touch, but if I'm ticking box, I'm not ticking all of these boxes saying, right, that's world class. I think he could be world class, but I think he needs to kick on now, and that is down to the manager. Our fans are all sitting there crying about refs, and this ain't a diss on Saka before anyone thinks I'm slagging him. I rate Saka, but I just don't think he really excels at a lot of things. But what he does excel at, he is extremely good at. But I think that when our fans are sitting there crying about he needs protection from referees, how about look at the manager? Yeah, because that's who should be protecting him. Yeah, that guy, has limped off 3 games on the spin and started the following game. Yeah, and I guarantee you starts on the weekend. Yeah, and no doubt he'll get kicked up in the air a couple of times and he'll limp off again. And he's going to have a major injury at some point. And when he does, he could be another Michael Owen.
Yeah. Listen, I think it's I think Arsenal are mishandling at the moment, and they've got away with it to a point. Although you could argue that they've not got away with it because back end of last season he dropped off massively. So
he did the season before as well.
Well, yeah, you could argue and say he's not had the injuries. You could argue that actually, on the other hand, it has cost him because maybe he wasn't mentally there. Imagine, I don't know exactly the month. I'm just going to say a month at random, yeah. And obviously, don't take it too literally. But imagine, say, in March last year, right, when you guys were still top of the league, Mikel Arteta took out Saka for two games, brought him on as a sub, give him a bit of a rest, right? Hypothetically, could that have changed him towards the end of the season? A bit fresher, had that bit of recovery. That's actually why, low-key, this Rodri suspension, because he's kind of in the same category at the moment. We just spam him because he's too good to drop. I actually kind of looked at him when he's got a red card. He's out for 3 games. Newcastle Carabao Cup, he wouldn't have played anyway. Wolves, obviously he would have played. We took the L there. Okay, disappointing. And then Arsenal, but it's early on in the season. He's not had a rest for 2-3 years.
Yeah,
I looked at actually went, you know what? Try not to get beaten in the 2 league games, which at the moment we lost one of them. But it's actually not the worst thing. And just to quickly quote Paul Merson, I know he says some stupid shit at times, but he does often.
I love Merson, man. Arsenal fans are so rattled by him. It's crazy.
Mate, I think he's well funny. And he does chat shit sometimes, but he does also come out with some facts. And I can't remember what player he was speaking about, but I remember listening to him once on Direct Soccer Saturday, and he was speaking about this young player. And he said taking a young player out of the team isn't the worst thing to do because it keeps them hungry. You know, there's nothing worse. And this is actually where I don't think Pep gets the correct credit with Foden, because Foden's hungry. Foden knows on Sunday he might not start, right?
Yep.
I think he probably will, but he might not start.
But that's the same with most of your team, not just,
well,
not just the younger
but
ones.
it keeps the player hungry. It keeps the player going into training and refocusing. What can I get better on? This is a weakness of mine.
How comes I didn't play at the weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Mahrez, for example. Prime example. I know he's a bit older, but he's only 30, 31 now, right? But Mahrez was your top goal scorer for 2 seasons straight. You sign Haaland, and then he's coming off the bench. Yeah, and then he's being dropped. He was scoring in Champions League semis, and then he's not even playing in the Champions League semis this season just gone. Yeah, and he still bagged 15 goals in 47 appearances. Yeah, but then 47 appearances, if you add up the amount of minutes he played, it's probably about 20 games. Right? But the seasons before that, before Haaland rocks up, bro, he was in the team every single week. Yeah, and it's like, I'm not saying that's the reason he left. Yeah, but that's where Pep is a genius. My man scored a hat-trick in an FA Cup semi-final. The next game, I think he played Bayern or Real Madrid. He was benched.
He'd done that twice to him. You know. He scored a hat-trick about 3 years ago, and then the next game he got benched.
Yeah, but as Mahrez dropped his head, is everyone crying that Mahrez wasn't starting? No, because Pep sits everybody down at the start of the season and says, right, before the summer window shuts, and says, right, this is our squad. We're going to make additions. You're not all going to play every week. Yeah, we're going to rotate, but at the end of the season, we've got a great chance to arrive at every single trophy. If you don't want that, you want to play every week, maybe this ain't the club for you. We'll let you leave. We want to get a fee, but you can go. And then they make a decision. Now they know they're not going to play every week. They can score a hat-trick and be benched. Whereas at Arsenal, he has his favourites. Pep ain't got favourites. Yeah, the goalkeeper, but even in cup semis and stuff like that, he'll still put the other goalkeeper in goal. Yeah. Instead of Ederson. So is the goalkeeper a favourite? No. He knows he's better. But when it comes to the major honours, the big boys are in that team. Yeah, the big boys are in that team. And the way he does it is the only manager I've seen in recent years that can manage a squad like that. Fergie was a genius at it. Yeah, Pep's equally as genius at it. Yeah, whereas every other manager, I know 100% Saka's starting this weekend. I'll be absolutely shocked if he don't start. Why? Because who's playing there? Well, we're going to put Reece Nelson there. Yeah, he's tried this little gimmick of putting Vieira there, trying to make him the next Bernardo. Mate, let me tell you now, he'd be lucky to be the next Denilson.
Yeah, well, that's another £35 million wasted. You know, I just think, it's very easy for me to sit here and say, you've got to sign the top players. But ultimately, when you're looking at the top prizes, you do have to sign the top players. And maybe you can take a couple risks here and there if you're successful and you're winning. Of course. But I just look at Arsenal, mate, and I just think that they're close to being serious, but they then just don't go that extra mile to properly be serious. This summer, I said it at the start of the season, right? I think Arteta might have signed his own P45 by signing Havertz, because if I'm an Arsenal fan, right, and I'm looking at this summer, right, you've just missed out on the Premier League. You should have won it. You bottled it. Shit happens. Make sure it doesn't happen again next year. Go in the transfer window and strengthen that squad. And my manager, because let's be honest, this has come from Arteta, nobody else at the football club, which begs its own question. Should someone else at the football club higher up in a corporate position say, what the fuck are you doing? You're not signing Havertz, mate. We're signing someone else. But anyway, that's a separate conversation.
I'm going to grab a beer. I'm listening, yeah?
Yeah, if he's signed Havertz, I'm an Arsenal fan. At the end of the season, that doesn't work. And it still might work. Who knows? It might work, right? We're only 8 games into the season. Maybe Havertz is having a slow start and he'll get into it. I personally don't think it will work. That's £65 million that's been wasted. That's £65 million that's been wasted. You could have got Doku. You could have got the lad who's gone to Villa. I forget his name, the right winger for 50 million. Huh? Who?
Kudus.
You could have got Kudus. All these players.
We could have signed Nunes that you signed.
Yeah, you could have signed so many.
We could have gone in for Paqueta. I know they wanted a lot more money. Yeah, but we could have gone out there with that 65 million and actually gone out and got a specialist in that position rather than trying to make a player who we don't even know where he's good at and what he's good at into a midfielder to replace Granit Xhaka. Yeah. It makes no sense, bro. Yeah, and then he's overplaying him when he's doing crap. Yeah, we're giving him sympathy penalties, sympathy man of the match vote, right? And apparently his confidence is going to grow. Well, where was his confidence in Lons on Tuesday? Because he
Mm.
dropped yet another stinker. And the problem with us is, you're absolutely spot on with that Havertz one. When we signed him, I said, that's the hill he's dying on.
Yeah.
That is the hill he's dying on. But you know what's crazy, right? Arteta in the summer came out and said that he contemplated quitting. And I know this club do a lot of PR and a lot of rubbish. Diaby was on about at Villa.
Yeah.
And I know this club do a lot of PR and rubbish. But the one thing I'll say and give credit to Arteta for, he does give a shit. Yeah, he does care. He does want to win, right? But then he makes mad decisions. But to come out and say in the summer that he thought about quitting, he knows he's up against it this season. And he's put pressure on himself.
Exactly.
To actually do it now. Yeah, because he thought about quitting last season. Am I the man? He said. And when he was saying it, I was thinking, you're actually being truthful here. You're not blagging this. You actually did contemplate leaving. Yeah, but I can tell you this for nothing as well. Yeah, when you're saying somebody in a hierarchy position should be saying, do you really want Havertz? Yeah, he runs that club, mate. Yeah, he runs that club from top to bottom. Yeah, what he says he gets. If he don't want someone there, they're not there. If he wants someone there, they're there. If we can do the deal with the other club. Yeah, he gets pretty much everything he wants. And at board level, yeah, bro, that guy is in control. I know this 1 billion% he's in control. If he wants somebody...
He needs a football person there, though, Lee. So a football person just to say, okay, I'm not going to talk you out of Havertz. If you want him, we'll get him. He needs a football person to sit him down, though, and go, this is the problem you've got. There's a little bit of pressure mounting on you now because you bottled it again. You bottled the league. Last year, you bottled the top four. So pressure is on you. We have a limited budget. This is the budget that we've got. Are you really wanting us to spend £65 million for Havertz, who was flopped at Chelsea? Or do you want us to go and put that money into a Maddison, a Kudus, a Diaby, a Doku, someone who can really... someone who really to push us forward? At the end of the day, if he then says, no, I want Havertz, so be it. But if it doesn't work out...
And it means accountability.
It does. It has to. It has to. Otherwise, you know what I do? I see a lot of similarities with Havertz and Arteta and Anthony at Manchester United. Both players were made big signings, big transfer fees, and were obviously manager signings. You know, so sometimes we'll sign a player and we're like, is that a Pep signing or has Tiki bought him in to sort of develop him or whatever? Them two signings were both made by the manager. And Anthony should not have played as many matches for Manchester United as he has done because he's been shit. He should have been pulled out. But he can't pull him out because it's his 80 million that he spent. And it's a similar situation with Arteta at Havertz. And the quicker that them two managers grow a pair and say, you have to come out at this point because you're not playing well enough, the more likely it would be successful for him. But I just find it very strange, man. And I just don't think Arsenal are fully serious. Can they win the league?
I agree. Listen, we can win the league. Yeah. And then the thing is, we've got history as well. We bottled top four 2 seasons ago. Some of these players are still here. We bottled the league after being 93% champions. Most of them players are still here. When you actually look at our transfer window, right? So if we get into a position where we're 8 points clear, let's say we beat you at the weekend, wouldn't it be total Arsenal, proper Arsenal here, to go and beat you twice this season and still not win the league? Yeah. Our fans be, we got that monkey off our back. We've beaten City finally, and then you still win the league. Yeah, and it's like, that would be typical Arsenal. But for me, when I looked at that transfer window, I got mad abuse in the summer because I rated it 4 out of 10. And everyone's like, well, just be happy. We signed Declan Rice. Yeah, we've signed Timber. We've got the goalkeeper. Yeah, and we've signed Havertz. And I'm like, you do know we still need a striker because Eddie ain't the guy. Yeah, Jesus ain't prolific. He's a good player. I like him, but he ain't the guy that's going to lead you to a title as the main focal point up front. Yeah, I'm like, we still need a right winger. Saka ain't playing another 70 games, mate. That ain't happening. And if he does, he'll ghost the last 10 like the last 2 seasons. Right? Andy will get injured this season. I also said we need another midfielder. Even after signing Rice, and I didn't want Havertz, but I said we need another one because we can't rely on Thomas Partey. He's always injured. Yeah, we don't know how Declan Rice is going to hold up playing so many games at a higher level. Yeah, like you have to win every week. And he's pissed me off. He came out after that loss to Lons the other night and said, yeah, it's good for us. It's a learning curve. And we move on to the next game. It's a massive game against City. And I'm like, he goes, we're only 10 games into the season. We've got another 50 to go. And I'm sat there thinking, mate, we ain't got 50 to go if you keep playing like that. Yeah, because we'll be out of every cup real quick and we'll have about 20 odd to play. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a joke. But, and I quote tweeted it. I put the comment out and I put it out. I said, mate, you're not a West Ham now, mate. Oh, yeah, it's good for us to lose. No, it ain't good for us to lose, mate. This mentality at Arsenal, mate, needs to change. And people keep telling me the culture and the, everything about the club's changed. No, it hasn't. You just all feel happier about your weekend now.
Yeah. And I agree. I think for me, I don't think that culture, I don't think that mentality will ever change until you start winning. In my opinion, because I think winning changes the mentality. I think once you win shit and then you win it again and then you win it again, you go, oh yeah, this is actually a sick feeling. So then when you lose, you don't come away from the game and go, it's just one game, we'll get back on it next week. You go, fuck, shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, this cannot happen again. And it becomes an emergency. It becomes a crisis.
I watched your stream. Sorry to cut you off. I watched your stream where you were cussing out Haaland. Was it you? I think it was you. I may be wrong.
What game?
I think it was the Wolves game. Was it you? I may be wrong. I'm not guilty. It might not have been you. It might have been somebody else. It was definitely a City channel, but I'm pretty sure I don't think you were cussing him. And you were saying like, no, he's got to do a little bit more. But we've got to do more as a team, and we've got to get the ball into the box for him, and he's got to do more to try and make the spaces to get in the box and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is where I want my club to be. The fact that we've lost one game to Wolves, our striker who's got 8 goals this season hasn't touched the ball. We haven't provided nothing for him, and we're moaning about that. We're moaning because we didn't win against Wolves. That is what I want. Whereas with Arsenal, and it comes from the club, right? Because they know that they can finesse these fans. When we got battered by you 4-1 last season in the title decider, heads up, on to the next. That was the tweet that they put out after that 4-1 battering, mate. It don't matter. Heads up, on to the next game, lads. Yeah. Whereas you lot, as a City fan base, you're not going to lose your shit over it. It's one game. But you are going to call it out because the standards have been set. And you ain't letting them standards drop as a City fan base. Whereas Arsenal standards are on the floor. Right, and then when he's taken us down to 8th, 5th, 2nd, it don't matter if we lose. Yeah, we're overachieving under this manager because he took us so far backwards that this is seen as success. Whereas I'm like, no, this was the standards, mate.
Yeah, I gotta say, I do think that Arteta gets a little bit too much praise at times because, okay, he come in and won that FA Cup straight away, great. But then he bottled the top 4 2 years ago. He bottled the league last year. He's made some suspect signings this summer. I mean, in general, bro, I could list a load of players he signed. Pablo Mari,
Willian, Sambi Lokonga, Nuno Tavares, Runnison, Matt Turner.
Fucking that guy, mate.
He is still an Arsenal player on loan. We can't get rid of him. Do you know why? We bought him for £1 million. Put him on 30 grand a week.
Wow.
£1 million signing, 30 grand a week. He's on loan to Cardiff because we can't get rid of him because no one to pay him the wages.
Yeah, so this then comes, I said we'll speak about it later, this then comes to the board then because obviously it's City, right? We have this like CFG network where we have like loads of clubs around the world which helps us share and identify young talent, which probably had a hand in the Alvarez signing and other signings. So
I'll be 1 minute. I am listening.
Yeah. No worries, man. So for me, I'm looking at the board here and going, at what point? And I can say the same thing, guys, as well in the chat. I can say the same things about United. At what point does someone in the board hire up a sporting director, a board member, I don't know, some high scouts? At what point does someone sit down with the managers, sit down with all the directors, and go, we shouldn't really let him choose the players no more? You know what I mean? And by the way, some coaches are great coaches. They can be world-class coaches. They can win Champions League. They might just not really spot players. Because if you think about it, a coach, what is a coach? A coach is a guy who's got a group of players and he coaches them to win. You know, having that identification of looking at a player who plays for a different team, playing a different style, maybe playing in a different country, not speaking your language and saying, sign him, he's going to make our team better. That's a completely different skill. So at what point does someone at Arsenal, someone at Man United stop letting the managers make the signings? I think that's something that for me has to be looked at, man. Because it ain't working. It ain't working.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, mate. And the maddest thing is, everyone keeps banging on about Arteta's talent ID. Bro, our best players were here before he was even manager. Martinelli, Saka, Saliba, they were all here before he got here. And they're 3 of our best players. The best he's signed Odegaard and Odegaard's got better. Yeah, I still don't rate Odegaard like everyone else, mate. I've seen some of the best number 10s in world football ever. Yeah, and people want me to rate him. Like, do me a favour. Like, yes, he's a good player, but when the chips are down, the guy disappears. Look at Tuesday. Where was he?
I have noticed that actually a few times where
where was he? Disappeared, bro.
And he gets subbed off a lot, doesn't he? In some of them games, maybe
last season he didn't really get subbed off a lot. Yeah, but he has been subbed off a few times this season. But that's because I don't know. Like, Arteta's thinking maybe we can win the game, get him off the pitch. He's been shit. Yeah, but bro, there's no replacement for Odegaard. Who are we putting in for Odegaard? What, Vieira? Right, so we haven't got a number 10 if he comes out. We haven't got a right winger if Saka's injured. We haven't got a proper striker, and we need another CM anyway.
Let me ask you a question.
Another defender, because if Saliba gets injured, we're putting Kivior in there.
Like, let me ask you a question.
Money we've spent, it ain't as rosy as everyone thinks it is.
No. Let me ask you a question. Big up KB in the chat. This is a player that I really like, and I don't know if you like him, what your take is. And I'm kind of baffled. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but what's happened to Smith Rowe, mate? Because I really rated Smith Rowe when he was breaking through. Thought he's a top player, can get goals, create, powerful, can drive forward, and then he just seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. I genuinely don't know. This isn't a loaded question. I don't know.
We played Man United last season. He got injured in the warm down after playing 10 minutes. Came on for the last 10 minutes at Old Trafford. Got injured in the warm down. Then he came back, and we barely see him, and he's barely played. And then he came off the bench against, I think, Bournemouth. Yeah, it was Bournemouth. Yeah, he nearly scored against Bournemouth twice. Goalkeeper made a mad save in that. He should have scored, to be fair. And then he took a pot shot from 20 yards out. Keeper made a good save, but it was kind of just off centre. If he put it in the corner, it would have been in. And then he came off the bench against Lons the other night. Yeah, and it's like, bro, this guy ain't getting a game over Havertz.
Yeah,
like, he can't get in over Havertz, bro. Yeah, he can't get in over Martinelli. Fair enough. Yeah, because he can play off the left. Yeah, no, he's done some of his good work off the left. But he ain't getting in over Trossard or Martinelli. Yeah, and he ain't getting in over Havertz. That's worrying. You can't get a game over him. Yeah, and if I'm his agent, yeah, I'm saying, should we get you a move in January, mate? Yeah, and that's a player that we could actually get decent money for. Yeah, and then we could maybe go and buy somebody else. But mate, there's so many problems that I see with this football club that people have just been brushing under the carpet. And I said last season as well, when the season ended, I said, right, now we're in the Champions League. Our manager's now coming out saying in a press conference before the Bournemouth game, saying they asked him about why we had so many injuries. And he said, well, because we had 3 or 4 players already out. So the other players that have now got injured didn't have time to recover for games. So basically, he's admitting he's playing players that ain't fully fit. Yeah, well, that comes back to your transfer window then, doesn't it? Yeah, because you're looking at the bench going, well, I don't fancy him, so I can't put him in, so I'm going to have to force him to play again. So go and get a better squad. Yeah, and then I said to everyone at the end of last season, I said, this season, we're going to get a lot of injuries because these players have played and played and played, but now they have to play at a high level in the Champions League. Yeah, it's all right coasting through the odd game in the Europa League. Yeah, but you can't do that in the Champions League. We see that on Tuesday. Yeah, and if we lose to Sevilla away, is it away? Yeah, our first game, our next Champions League game's away to Sevilla. If we lose that and Lons, who sit top, beat PSV, who sat bottom, all of a sudden we're third in the group, 2 behind Sevilla and 4 behind Lons, with Sevilla next. And all they got to do is come to the Emirates, park the bus and get a draw, and we're effed, bro. Yeah, and if he don't get out that group, he should be sacked. Yeah,
that is a madness. That is a madness if he don't get out. I rattled a lot of Arsenal fans, man, because some Arsenal fans didn't even watch their own team last year, because in the summer, I was doing a stream with someone. Like, it might have been you. I don't know who I did a stream with. And they was asking me about, do I think Arsenal can win it? I said, the reason I don't think Arsenal can win it is 1, because of the transfers that they made, but 2, they got the Champions League, and then boom, you got these Arsenal fans coming in the chat saying, we had Europa League football this year, you idiot. Did you not even know we had Europa League? What's the difference? Okay, go and have a look at your top 10 most played players in the Europa League last season by minutes and see if they're going to be playing in the Champions League this year for Arsenal. The answer to that question is no. The difference is in the Champions League this year, you have to play your starting 11 every game. You know what I mean? Because it's a tricky competition. Even if you get an easy group, you know what I mean? You can't be putting out your B team against any team really in the group stage, because they're good teams.
Yep.
And it surprised me how I got attacked in that stream, man. Even though I was just pointing out facts, man. Like you can
Mate,
check
a lot of our
yourself.
fans before that Lons game on Sunday and Monday were sitting there saying play a reserve team against Lons.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
mad.
Are you crazy? We've waited 7 years to get back in this. You've made a big song and dance about us getting back in it, making out we can sign world-class talent. But where's all these world-class players then? Because we ain't got a world-class player. Not one.
No.
We've got some good players, but they're not world-class. Not one of them.
No.
Yeah. And then they're sitting there saying, oh, yeah, we should put reserve team out, save all these players for City. What are you waffling about?
Yeah, that's silly.
But that's the, bro, this fan base, I'm telling you now, right? We could go into the Europa League. They won't sack him because he runs the show top to bottom. I know this, right? He runs the whole place. Anything tea lady, if he wants to get rid of ketchup, he's getting rid of ketchup. If he wants HP, he's getting HP. Whatever, yeah? But this fan base, if we end up in the Europa League, finishing the top, well, it's top 5 this season, I think, for Champions League, right? Don't win anything. This lot to say, oh, yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad. We were fighting on multiple fronts.
Yeah, that's what they're
and
saying.
We're back in the Champions League. Yeah, bro, this fan base online, a lot of them, not all of them, I'm not going to put them all in there, right? But a lot of our fans online have never seen us win a league. They've just seen us get Champions League, Champions League, neck an FA Cup every now and again. So they're happy seeing Champions League, bro. They don't care about trophies. Yeah, and the club play on to that. Yeah, the club don't want a match day fan that lives around the corner. They want a match day fan, yeah, that has come over from Australia, America, Saudi, wherever it may be. They're having a week in London, and they're going to go and go Fulham. Then they're going to go Chelsea. Then they go Arsenal. They go Palace. Yeah, they'll buy everything in the club shop. Yeah, that's what they want, and that's why I heard a Fulham fan on TalkSport the other day saying that the price of a ticket for Fulham Man United is 160 quid.
Yeah, I seen that. That.
And there was he phoned into TalkSport and he said, mate, that was a West London derby, SW6 derby the other night, Fulham Chelsea. He said that was the worst atmosphere, and I've been going 50 years. He said that was the worst atmosphere. He said because it was just full of tourists. And listen, tourists are more than welcome to go to a football game. Of course they are. Yeah, but then a lot of them ain't interested in football. It's just a day out. Yeah. And that is what the clubs are aiming at, and that's the fans that they want. People that are going to go and do a day out because they'll go and do £1,000 in the club shop. Yeah. Whereas if you live around the corner from the stadium and you got your season ticket, you're finishing work, you jump on the underground, you come out straight in. Yeah, you might get a cup of coffee outside, straight in, sit in your seat, go toilet at half time, and leave at full time. You ain't buying nothing. Yeah.
So where I establish that is, for me, there's the tourist, which is you're right, which is what the club want, and then there's the foreign fan, and they're different. Yeah, I mean, just because you come from America, I know a lot of people who are City fans in America that come over to City and watch City.
City are huge in America.
Yeah, and the Middle East as well. Obviously, for obvious reasons, you can probably cook me for that chat if you want. But so it's important to separate them because they come over and they'll sing. They know the songs. Yeah, you know what I mean, they know the history of the club. In fact,
they're the ones starting the songs at Arsenal, by the way.
Yeah, but then you've got the people who just come over and don't really have any interest in the game and they're just there because it's England, it's the Premier League. So yeah, listen, this is what it's about, man. You know what I mean? If football has changed, and a lot of clubs don't want to win and are not fussed about winning. And the truth is, the evidence is there because if clubs wanted to win, they would make different decisions. If Arsenal desperately wanted to win the Premier League, would they have signed Havertz? This isn't me just slamming Havertz. Hey, who knows? Maybe it'll work out. But would you have signed Havertz? You know what I mean? Wouldn't you have signed? I remember last year, when you signed Jesus, and I said, mate, Jesus ain't a striker in my opinion. He'll score some nice goals. He will chip in. I think personally, based on what I've seen at City, his 3 years at City, his best position was on the wing. In my personal opinion, he can play striker and he'll score goals. But the fact is, City didn't have a striker, and he was on the bench a lot. We played with someone else.
A striker for 2 seasons, and he kept coming off the bench. That tells you what you need to know. And the thing is, the reason he didn't get many games is because 99% of the teams you're going to play, the same with us now. Yeah, we're going to have most possession. We're going to be camping on the edge of their box. They're going to be low blocking it left, right, and centre, parking the bus. Jesus ain't that guy. Yeah, Jesus is good off the wing in that when you're trying to jink through a couple and whipping a ball in, but he ain't the focal point up front when he's got 3 big centre backs around him. Yeah, ain't ever going to work. You need somebody like a Harry Kane that can win a header. And
Well,
Ivan Toney, a Haaland.
I was going to say, I didn't know your take on this one. I still don't. You've not really said. If I was Arsenal, I'd have a nibble at that. At Bournemouth for Brentford, sorry, for Ivan Toney. I think he's a top player. I'd get something different, man, because then you've got the Jesus, you've got the smaller player who's more agile and a bit more energy, a bit more pressing, but then you've also got that strong player, which, by the way, the Premier League is sort of going that way. I mean, you had Kane at Spurs, obviously he's gone. Is there a sort of correlation? Jurgen Klopp, great manager. He's gone from Firmino, small player, to Nunes. Pep Guardiola has gone from Aguero to Haaland, and before that he wanted Kane. Even fucking 10th fraud at Man United's gone for Rasmus Højlund, again, bigger profile. It was only Arteta, really, in recent years who signed a striker who's gone for someone smaller. I mean, it makes you think, is that a coincidence?
It does, bro. Pep has finessed everyone in this league. The only one who he hasn't finessed 100% is Klopp. Klopp's got his own style. Klopp's style is completely different to Pep's style. But most of these managers in the Premier League are doing this playing out from the back rubbish, right? Yeah. And inverted fullbacks and hybrid centre backs, and like all of this crap. But Pep done this because Pep's 2 years down the road. Pep knows what he's going to do in 2 years' time. Pep knows what he's going to be doing next season. He knows exactly what formations he's going to be playing in January. He put Nathan Ake at left back. Why? Because he wanted to win that Champions League. Yeah, and he knew that if he had, who did you have at left back before that?
It would have been Zinchenko. We saw him last year, didn't we?
Oh, of course it was. Of course it was. Yeah, you had Zinchenko. He's gone away from that and put a proper defender, a centre back who can defend. You've now gone and brought Vardy out, proper centre back, but he can play left. So when you're playing against teams like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, teams like that, now you know you've got 4 competent defenders that can defend. Yes, they will come inside every now and again. Of course they will, because you dominate the ball. Cancelo, that was the guy I was looking for. Cancelo. He bins Cancelo off, who was inverting a lot. Yeah, decent player, but couldn't really defend. Yeah, long ball over the top, you're in every time. And that's how you conceded a lot of your goals when he played. Yeah, but now he puts Nathan Ake at left back and you go and win the treble. Yeah, but Arteta is still fannying around with this inverted. Bro, I watched the game the other night, right? And Zinchenko started at left back. He then puts him in midfield for 20 minutes. And I'm like, why? Why are you putting him in midfield? Why didn't you just save the Kai Havertz money, put Zinchenko in midfield, because he is a midfielder, not a left back. Yeah, right. He was the number 10 before City signed him. Yeah, right. And then go and do that 65 million on a proper left back.
It's trying to be too clever, man. It's trying to be too clever for your own boots, and he may pay the ultimate price. But
he's still trying to do what Pep was doing not the season gone, the season before.
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct.
Whereas Pep has evolved himself and said, no. The way to win now is keep it rock tight, rock solid at the back. I know you lost at the weekend and all of that. Cool. That's a blip, a one-off. That ain't happening very often, right? We know that. You will lose games, we'll lose games, but you'll lose less than most, right? But defensively, you are solid in the big games, and the big games is where they will be decided. Yeah, if we had beaten you just once last season, we won the league. You would have had 3 points less, and we have 3 more. We win the league by 1 point. Yeah. And that is the difference. We'll both beat most of the smaller teams, with all due respect to them. They are smaller, or worse teams, should we say. We'll mostly beat them. When it comes to the big games, Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal, City, Arsenal, Man United, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Tottenham. Yeah, that's where titles are decided. Yes, you have to still compete and win the other games. But again, on the flip side of that, you don't have to beat Man City to win a title. Because if we just match your results, or better your results in the other games and then get out of there. If we lost to you twice last season, but we've not lost to drew with Liverpool 2-0 up, not drawn with Southampton, going 3-1 down, 2-0 down, 3-1 down, losing to Brighton, losing away to Everton, we would have won the league. So we don't have to beat City to win a title, but at the same time, the bigger games are where I think a title's decided, because you don't do well at White Hart Lane, you don't do well at Liverpool. But you do well against everyone else. Yeah.
Well, but this is mentality though again, Lee, because I remember after you dropped points, it was either a West Ham game or a Southampton game, and it was one of them where I was like, Am I reading that right? In fact, it happened again with the fucking VAR thing. We'll come on to that in a sec. But yeah, last year when you dropped points against Southampton or West Ham, I remember, right, going online, I seen a video on Twitter, and Arsenal fan was going, "You just can't compete with Man City." And I was thinking, I got a minute. You played West Ham or something. What are you talking about? City, like it's like focus on yourself, man. And that's exactly what you're saying there. And funny enough, it happened with the VAR thing. You know, the VAR that happened at Liverpool. The day after, I'm going on Twitter. Oh, referee was in the UAE, definitely to do with City. I was like, you guys are so paranoid and so like twisted that you don't even focus on what's right in front of you. You try and like push it off on someone else. Yeah. And often I'm looking at that and it's sitting and it's just weird, man.
Bro, if he had gone to referee in Greece, nobody would be crying.
Oh yeah, we spoke about this. Yeah, we know we spoke about this. Yeah.
It's
exactly.
pathetic, isn't it? But it's all it's a conspiracy. How like I heard a Liverpool fan call into TalkSport. They posted it out on their Twitter account, and he was moaning and bitching and crying. Yeah, that the game should be replayed. The game should be replayed because it's not fair. City are so good. Yeah, we can't be allowed to have this happen when we're trying to chase City. Yeah, they're flawless. Blah blah blah. And I'm sitting there thinking, mate, instead of crying about VAR, why don't you cry to your ownership? Yeah, they could have gone out and done more money. They put 100-odd million quid on the table for Caicedo. They've got money. Yeah, they could have bought more players. Yeah, and why are you relying on a VAR decision to win you a football match?
Yeah,
like we all know VAR's flawed. Yeah, we all know that most of it is subjective, and we all know that refs will make mistakes, and so will VAR. So take the mistakes out of the equation and just win the game anyway. Yeah, just be better. It's not difficult. But it's no coincidence that Man City keep winning because they have the best manager. Yeah, and cool, you could have a great manager and still not win. Yeah, we had Wenger smash it for 8 years and then be an absolute waster for 12 years. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? But you can still win with a bad manager or an average manager if you do what's required in the transfer window. Ranieri, I know that's an anomaly as such, yeah, but is it really an anomaly? I've seen other teams. Napoli won their first title in 32 years since Maradona went. Yeah, Atletico compete with Real Madrid and Barca every year.
Yeah. No. It's mentality. So it all comes for me. It all comes down to mentality and seriousness. If you are a serious club, right, and you wanted to properly compete, it's the same with Brighton, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we agree on this. I can't remember. I think we might do. The Brighton debate, right? Listen, don't get me wrong. What Brighton have done is absolutely fantastic. You know what I mean? They have revolutionised the style of play that's been played at the Amex. The fans love it week in, week out. They're absolutely buzzing. They've got into Europe. They're making shit tons of cash when they're selling the players. Great. But at some point, the question will be asked, how serious are you? Because if you're serious, you'll stop selling players. Do you know what I mean? Because I've said this before about Brighton. What they're doing isn't sustainable. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is sustainable. Okay, so finding Caicedos for £5 million is sustainable. Every year, you're going to go out and buy a Caicedo, someone of that quality for £5 million, and McAllister for a similar price, World Cup winner. Estupiñán, Evan Ferguson. You think that's sustainable over a long period of time?
Mate, Southampton got relegated after doing that.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
They drew last night. They conceded 2 goals in 90 seconds last night. Yeah, in like 28th minute or whatever it was. Right, they ended up getting out of Marseille with a draw. Right, but I see a stat earlier that they are the first team in all competitions in the Premier League. It's a Premier League, Europe, League Cup, to concede 20 goals this season. And everyone's waffling about how great they are in their style of play. Bro, they've made 400 million quid out of the last 2 summers, and they've spent 130 of it. Put the other 270 in, and you might actually challenge.
No, I agree. I agree. This is what
I can't wait for them to get relegated. Yeah, but do you know what? It's not necessarily their fault. The whole structure of money in the Premier League is a disgrace. We finished 5th. You won the league, and I think we earned 6 or 7 million quid less than you in prize money. Where's the incentive to go that extra mile and spend an extra few quid to go and win the title? Because you're only going to get 5, 6, 7 million quid more.
It's that question of, do you go down the Spanish route? And I'm pretty sure that with TV money and all that kind of shit heavily favours the teams at the top, but then the league might become less competitive. Or do you go down the route that we've got, where everyone gets paid basically the same, and the team that wins the league doesn't really get paid too much more than the team who finishes 4th or 5th? But if the teams are not serious about closing the gap, which is my point, I don't think teams are serious about closing the gap.
Nope.
Then they'll just hold cash. They'll just turn into a business that wants to make money.
Bro, I think it's all part of a bigger picture anyway. They all know each other, all the hierarchies, the Premier League bosses, the owners of the clubs. Yeah, like this Saudi thing that's happened, that's all part of the next phase. Yeah, like, oh, the Super League didn't work out. Okay, right, activate Project Saudi. Yeah, how ironic they all just went at the same time and spent a load of dough this summer. Yeah, Qatar will be next.
Yeah.
Qatar will start spending next. We've already seen Verratti go out there and Coutinho go out there. Yeah.
Well, can I just pick up a quick point? Brian Spencer in the chat.
I'm going to grab a beer, mate.
Yeah, Brian Spencer in the chat says they can't spend it because they don't generate enough money. FFP. That was the club's fault. City didn't want FFP, as you're quite clearly aware, because that FFP was basically brought in to stop teams like City spending the money. That was brought in by the likes of Manchester United, by the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, because they were scared. So that is their own fault. So you can't come at me now. United fans who got fined for FFP, United Football Club got fined for FFP a couple of months ago. You can't come at City and be like, oh, well, we can't spend money now because of FFP. It's your fault that it was there in the first place, because you went moaning to UEFA saying, oh, look at this. Manchester City have just been bought. They finished 10th last year, and now within a couple of years, they might win the Prem because their owner actually wants to spend money. So an owner wants to spend money in a football club, develop the area, build players, and you're moaning about that and want to stop it with FFP regulation. So you cannot now come at me as a fan. I don't know if you are coming at me there, Brian, by the way. You can't come at me if you support one of these teams and say, oh, we can't spend money now because of FFP, because it was your clubs who wanted that in the first place, because they went moaning to UEFA.
Right, Brighton can spend money. If they've made 400 million profits in 2 summer windows, they can spend that money. Doesn't matter. There's profit.
Yeah. Of course they can.
There's profit. They can spend the profit, right?
Of course they can. Yeah.
Well, there you go then. Yeah, I get why people praise Brighton. Oh, it's a sunny, nice little seaside town, and they're nice people, and they play good football. Well done. Yeah, ultimately, they've been around in existence for 122 years and never won a major honour. There's a reason for that. Yeah, and everyone's praising them. Oh,
it's funny, actually. It's funny because I've had debates with Brighton fans before, and they feel like you're attacking the club, and I'm not attacking the club. I'm saying, no, I'm looking at you going, you're in a great position and you have a great foundation. You've got £400 million in cash probably on the bank account. Go and spend it and properly try. And I think there's a bit of a fear factor, like imposter syndrome sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And maybe I had it when City first got bought back in 2008, 2009, when we was starting to fight with Arsenal and the big boys at the top, and you're like, fucking hell, what's going on here? But you've got to try, man. Surely, like, you want your club to win something. Like, I can't believe that there's still clubs out there that have never won anything. Because if like you look at the FA Cup from like 1890, I mean, some of the clubs that have won it, like Bury, my team, not too far away. Yeah, exactly. Like
Preston went invincible, didn't they?
Exactly, they did. Yeah, the original Invincibles. Yeah, everyone's kind of won something. And all I'm saying to Brighton is, look, I think what you've done is great, fantastic, but have a go. See if you can do a Leicester, because look at Leicester, right? Every Leicester fan is gutted that they're back in the Championship, but not one of them will trade where they are now for that to come back in the Premier League for the Premier League that they won. I can guarantee you will not find one Leicester fan that says, take the Premier League off me, but put me back in the Premier League. Not one. And if they do, they should never watch football again. So that's what I'm saying about Brighton. Give it a go. Try and win a trophy, man. Look at West Ham winning the Europa Conference League. I know people shit on the Conference League. I don't particularly shit on it. It's a trophy at the end of the day. They're buzzing. Go and win a trophy. Surely that's what it's about, man.
Mate, that's why I like Unai Emery. Yeah, because he will have a go. I've never heard of the team they played last night. I see the clips doing the round of the fans that travelled over. I don't even know what country they're from. Bro, they had thousands of them there. Yeah, and they were only allowed 700 in the ground. So they were all outside the ground. They're one of the other 700. It's like, yeah, it's class, isn't it? Yeah, but it's like, have a go. That's why I rate Sevilla. Yeah, Sevilla always have a go in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, our fans are going, oh, bigger fish to fry, bigger fish to fry. That lot were like 19th in the league, sacked their second manager, got a third manager in last season. He took them from 19th to 9th in 2 months and won them the Europa League. Go and ask Sevilla fans if they give a shit they finished 9th. They won in Europe again and beat Jose in the final. But our fans going, oh, we'd rather finish second and in the title race than win anything. Different mentality, mate. Yeah, how can Sevilla have a better mentality as a football club than Arsenal?
Because they've been winning.
They're massive. They are a big club, but they're not Arsenal.
No, because they've won stuff before, Lee, and they've won the Europa Leagues and stuff like that. So then once you win it, your mentality changes. You know what I mean? Like, for example, we just won the treble, right? I'm desperate for us to go and do a back-to-back Champions League. I'm desperate for us to go and win the Premier. I'm not sitting there, nor is my club. We're not sitting there going, oh, we've won Champions League now, buzzing, let's just sit back and chill. You want to go and do it again. And I think we can win the Champions League again. Because once you've got that winning mentality, that's all that matters, really. Yeah, you can enjoy the journey. Of course you can, but listen, man, I just think that Arsenal, for me, are a massive club. And I just think that they're just not quite serious enough. I think they think they're serious. I think when I'm talking about them, I'm talking about the people at the club, yeah, not you guys.
The people at the club ain't serious, bro. Yeah, no, they're doing the bare minimum based on
I think they think they're serious, though. I think they think they're serious.
Yeah, they think they're serious.
But they're not.
But at the same time, yeah, I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show with you. COVID was the best thing to happen to some of these football clubs because they realised that they could play on people's emotions and feelings. Yeah. Oh, but the stadiums are louder. Yeah, that's because every stadium's louder. Oh, but we're together now. That's because it's more of a social event than actually winning. Yeah, you just want to go and meet your mates at football. Yeah, oh, I can't wait till Saturday. I'll go and meet my pals, have a couple of pints and go and cheer on the Gunners. It's not about winning anymore for a lot of these football clubs. Yeah, Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, none of them are interested in winning. Liverpool are. Yeah, but they don't do enough on the pitch in terms of players on the pitch, and that comes from their bosses. Yeah, Arsenal dropped new kit after new kit after new kit after. I see Juventus today have dropped a Halloween kit. What the fuck's that all about? What is that all about? Arsenal
it's just
dropped a women's away kit, a pink women's away kit the other day, yeah? But they do it in a men's fit. What's that all about?
They do it to obviously, it's just a business, man. Do you know what I mean? And you can be a successful business and earn money as a club and generate cash, but still win. You can do both. But what clubs are trying to do? They're trying to focus and prioritize generating cash, profitability, in disguising we are serious. So like Arsenal, disguise, we are serious. Look, we're trying to. But no, are they really serious? They're not serious. You're not serious because if you were serious, you wouldn't have signed Havertz. I'm sorry. You wouldn't have signed
Kivior. Wouldn't have signed Jorginho. Wouldn't have signed Tomiyasu. Oh, but he wins headers. Yeah, he's 6'4", mate. I'd expect him to. Oh, but he's really good. It's pathetic, bro. It really is. But listen, we are going to wrap this up. I didn't expect it to do an hour and 20. It's flown by, man.
Yeah, it's got rapid, isn't it?
What you got coming up, man? I know you've done a few streams. Like,
I'm on. I got a show coming up with Dan Potts. You know Pottsy, innit?
Yeah, big up Potts.
Yeah, I got a show coming up later on with him, and then tomorrow. Man, I was looking at some watch-alongs tomorrow, but I've got to pick my sister up from the airport at like 2:00, which is like, and I'm not going to be back by the time the 3 p.m.s kick off. So I don't know, man. I've got to do some shit.
And you've got to be at the airport. And the early kickoff won't be finished by then either.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I was looking.
You should have planned that better, mate. Come on.
I know. I was looking at Germany, but the only decent games on at 2:30. Don't think there's nothing really going down in Spain on Saturday. So I don't know, man. I'll do something tomorrow, and then obviously Sunday. Sunday's the big one, isn't it? You know what I mean? And,
yeah, man. What's your score prediction before we wrap this up?
I've gone for. I think City will nick it 1-0. Our defense. Because our defence probably will be Walker, Diaz, Gvardiol, and maybe Ake or Akanji might come in. It's a pretty solid defence. And even though we've not got Rodri, Kovacic will still be there, maybe Nunes. I think we'll be a pretty solid outfit. I don't think we'll compete with the midfield. I think you'll dominate the midfield probably for the first time in a long time. But whether or not you can turn that domination of possession and midfield into actual creating chances and scoring goals, I don't know. So, yeah, I've got for City. I think we'll nick it. And also, of course, you're at home. I do think the pressure's on Arsenal to win it rather than City. If we get a point, I'm quite happy with that. You know what I mean? We've got half our team out injured. So, yeah, that might leave us some space at the other end for Haaland. So, yeah, I think we'll nick it 1-0. But we'll have to see. It's been weird, obviously, because of the injuries, you know?
I think we're going to lose 3-1. I can't lie. Yeah, the Dolphin. Haaland, I call him a dolphin. He looks like a dolphin, doesn't he? Yeah, I know you like call yourselves the blue shark and all that, but he's a dolphin. But I think the dolphin, like Rose says here, a lot of people are saying he's a flop. Well, I'd take a flop that's probably scored already more goals than Eddie Nketiah will this season. Like,
yeah, it's not a flop.
You know, he's definitely scoring this weekend. He's gone 3 games without a goal.
Yeah, I said this earlier. For me, Haaland is not the type of guy that you want to wind up like that. You know what I mean? There's certain players where if you get onto them online, right, on social media or at the games and say, "Oh, you shit, you're a flop," they'll crumble. They'll crumble because they can't deal with it. But there are certain players where if you do that to them, it can go the other way, and they can call. I reckon Haaland's sitting here tonight, absolutely buzzing for this game.
Oh, 100%.
Thinking to himself, yeah, I'm going to show up. And maybe he won't. Maybe he'll do shit. I don't know. But I just think that he will be sat there absolutely buzzing for it. I really, really do. So, yeah, listen, it's an interesting one, man, because listen, if we win the game, that's 4 points clear of you guys already.
Oh, it's done. It's done already, mate. Even if we beat you, it's done.
Yeah.
Even if we beat you, it's done. Like, bro, trust me. I've seen enough of us this season to know we ain't winning the title. Yeah, we're not winning the Champions League. We ain't winning the title. So we're competing for what? The League Cup's beneath us. Robbie told everyone. Yeah, they all did a watch along for it and went to the game. Just saying. So yeah, the FA Cup's our best chance, and we'll probably put that in the bin to try and qualify for the Champions League again.
Well, you did that to us last year, didn't you? That was another mentality mistake from Arteta. I said that to you at the time. I said he's made a fucking huge mistake because what Arsenal should have done that day in the FA Cup. I don't want to rant on because I know we're wrapping up, but he should have gone to the Etihad and tried to win, because if you would have won, that would have given Arsenal confidence in the remaining games against City. But he didn't. He come to City. He basically sacked it off. I mean, every Arsenal fan, when you've seen that, I think Gabriel might have played. Every Arsenal fan that day, when that team came out, knew that they were going to. You might have been like a little bit Arsenal, thinking he might have got a result, but you kind of knew that, yeah, you're going to lose that game. And that was down to Arteta again. I think that was a huge mistake. Said it at the time, and I'll stand by that to this day.
All right, big up everyone in this chat as well. Who's live that we like? Because we can redirect them. We've got, 1,000 people, 900 still in here. Yeah, so tell me something. Is Lewis live? Joe Wyman? Somebody like that? Yeah, come on. There's got to be somebody live that we like.
Joe's not live.
I've got a super chat that we're going to read as well real quick while you lot are checking, because I can redirect it quick to their stream. We can take over their stream. Let me have a look on my phone. Yeah, Joe's not live. When's Joe going live? 7. No, that's time away. Yeah, there's nobody live. What about Matisse or Goonie? No.
I got no one. I got absolutely no one, man.
Yeah, same. There's nobody live. That's a bit of a random one, isn't it? What about James Redmond? No, he's already done.
Yeah, he did this earlier.
There's nobody live.
I don't know what people are doing, man.
Well, fuck it then. I'll redirect it to rants. I'm live there in half an hour. Here's what it is. All right, let me get his link quick and we'll wrap this up. That super chat as well. 4 players to score a Premier League hat-trick at Anfield. I can give you 3 real quick.
What's this?
In fact, I can name all 4.
Tell me the 4 players to score a Premier League hat-trick at Anfield. You get me on trivia?
I can name all. I think no. Oh, actually, one of them was a cup game. I can name 3.
What is this? Nah. Tell me the 4 players to score a hat-trick.
It ain't easy. Well, I'll give you one. He plays for Arsenal right now.
I don't know, bro. Who?
Trossard.
Who? Oh shit, with Brighton.
Yeah, Trossard scored a hat-trick last season. Ollie Watkins. Yeah, Ollie Watkins scored a hat-trick. He was the first player to score a hat-trick at Anfield for a decade.
Right. That's pretty
that's 2.
Arshavin.
Arshavin.
Yeah, he got 4, didn't he?
Scored 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he got that list, didn't he?
Yeah, the other, the 4. The other one I had was Baptista, but that was in a cup game. So that was in a cup game. Who was Baptista was the FA Cup. Who was the other one? Come on. Trossard, Arshavin. Did man say Troops is live? Is Troops live? I didn't see him live. Who's the 4? Come on, tell me. I want to go. Robbie Fowler. Robbie Fowler got... Oh, he did get a hat-trick there. He did. Yeah, he did. He did get a hat-trick, mate. That's mad. Yeah, that is actually crazy. But there we go. So, yeah, make sure you check out Lewis's channel, people. Troops ain't live either. So we're redirecting to rants. I'm on there in literally half an hour. His team are worse than mine. So yeah, this show is going to be lit. Make sure you sub to Lewis. The link's in the title. How many subs you want, bro? You're touching 10K, innit?
8.2 now, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Listen, there's still 800 people in there. Make sure that's flying up real quick. And we're going to try and make this a regular thing every week as well, people. So, yeah obviously, we're both title rivals.
Yeah. Nah, it's going to be a madness. I'm on Saeed's channel Monday, innit, as well, for the midday live.
Yeah,
so
man.
that'll be an interesting show, innit? So
I take it you're doing a watch along and all that over the weekend.
Yeah, I did a watch along. Yeah, I did a watch along on Sunday.
All right, sweet, man. Yeah, if you're around, jump on for a fan cam if you got time, mate. After the game.
Yeah. I will do.
Yeah, they get mad traction anyway. I can just whack your link in the title.
Yeah, I'll message you after the game.
Yeah, sweet. All right, nice one, man. Appreciate you coming on, mate. Have a nice weekend and good luck Sunday. Not that you need it. I think 3-1 City, but we shall see. We shall see. It is what it is. We're out. Laters.
Big up.